Solo Leveling is the only show that runs on aura farming, badass moments, and one dude chanting "Arise" as he mocks the entire cast. The second season started off with a bang in Jinwoo's glorious bedhead, setting up the perfect stage for him to annihilate yet another army of beasts. In this short video, we'll break down why Solo Leveling's formula works and how Jinwoo keeps us hooked, one arise at a time. Solo Leveling is a series that follows the usual zero-to-hero stories, with Jinwoo starting off as a fragile, weak little hunter who could barely carry his own weight, turning into an invincible shadow monarch that carries the fate of the world. The plot is also one of the most straightforward ones that I've seen, where Jinwoo and his shadows are the only memorable characters in the show, and the rest, well, female lead 1, 2, 3, little sister, budget Wolverine, Mr. President who would probably sacrifice himself for no reason, and Mr. Slickback. And not a single one of these characters leaves so much as a dent on the greater plot. The only thing they're good for is being fuel for a single Jinwoo level up. Now, even with the side characters being background props, the show carries on its hype with realistic pacing, with fights lasting a couple of episodes at best. Unlike a certain few where it takes at least 20 episodes to land the first blow. It really is a blessing that Jinwoo is a chill guy who talks more with himself than with the NPCs. Although the show does follow a rinse and repeat system like Demon Slayer or Bleach, it does wonderful with its execution. It does so by setting up high-stake moments such as Jinwoo running out of potions or him taking on opponents that far overshadow him, as he perseveres on his journey to become the strongest and be the man of his family since his dad is, like every anime dad, off to buy milk. This simple yet compelling plot resonates with the viewers. Not saying everyone has neglectful parents, but still, you get it. The banger BGMs, getting the likes of Lisa and Felix for the opening, unlimited budget works with not a single episode that has frame deficiency, and masterful direction all contribute to the show's popularity. The series is also one of the only Korean adaptations that was not butchered, unlike its fallen comrades. And with that, Solo Leveling has become one of the most influential manhwas of today. But Jinwoo is not like the other guys, who were born stoic, or had loving parents yet still act like they're from the streets. His personality began to shift the stronger he got. The most noticeable change was how he had to the point where killing people, despite never doing so before, came naturally to him. He also stays true to his role as a family man, and of course, through moments with female lead 1, we learn under all that stone face, he is still just like any other man, which makes him all the more relatable. Well, not for me, but you get it. Jinwoo's glow-up was also a little too bizarre. He was the variant of Saitama who kept his hair and went through a compulsory Korean beauty standard procedure. This man hit every standard. He got taller, broader, fairer, and somehow even got a divine sleeper build. And as a cherry on top, he also unlocked a killer sense of fashion. As for his power scaling, I'd say I enjoyed the process of him getting stronger back when he actually had to try. Way more than now where jaws drop to hell every time he makes a move or a whole Krispy Kreme glazing fest opening up every time he breathes. Jinwoo has now become a factory for aura farming, with his witty one-liners that in any other context would be cringe, and of course his English voice actor absolutely nailing his laid-back nature. Jinwoo is also to be credited for turning boys into men, single-handedly raising gym memberships just by existing. But no matter how you look at it, an overpowered main character alone isn't enough to make the show special. Solo Leveling wasn't the first of its kind, nor did it come up with something that hasn't been tried yet. So what exactly does it do so well that made it one of the greatest manhwas to ever exist? The answer is execution. Everybody has a story to tell and characters to write, but how it's done is where it truly counts. From the very beginning, Jinwoo had to prove himself instead of getting a free protagonist pass, showing his conviction even in the face of death. In every arc, the tension kept rising, with each fight feeling grand, even when you know Jinwoo's gonna maul his opponents either way. Regardless, now that we've got an overpowered main character and peak execution, what's next? What else is needed to make a series work? The manhwa had some of the most insane panels ever, with the anime carrying on with consistently good animation. The anime's art style does get to me sometimes, with Jinwoo's chin getting pointier every episode, but it might just be a side effect of all the mewing he does. Overall, the animation and direction are good, and the show keeps giving us cinematic action with banger BGMs. To ask for more would be greed. But the show isn't done spoiling us just yet. Aside from Jinwoo, the only other characters that stand out are ironically the ones who barely speak. One of Jinwoo's shadows, Igris, alone had more aura than all the characters combined. Another one of his shadows, Iron, was a dude who was just as much of an obnoxious Dumbo, except got more bearable after he died, before ultimately joining Jinwoo's legion of ripped shadows. These guys also come back even stronger after revival, which basically means Jinwoo isn't just a necromancer. He's also a part-time gym trainer for the undead. Another positive aspect is that since Solo Leveling doesn't have much of a plot, it makes it one of the easiest anime for new fans to get into, without being bombarded by hundreds of episodes, horrendous pacing, or whatever fever dream these isekais are cooking up these days. They also won't have to deal with the questionable parts of the anime culture. Everything you see in the show is at face value, with no hidden meaning and little to no foreshadowing behind it. Although you could come up with a few theories here and there as to who the smiling statue was, or the system's true identity, why danger follows Jinwoo, and whatever the heck his dad is up to. But that's about as deep as it gets. If you've seen at least 20 anime, you'll probably see through all of it. And if you don't, it's okay. Solo Leveling isn't exactly known for its writing after all. Since the show is so simple, it's natural it'll be overloaded with plot holes and pointless repetitions which at some point can get boring when the only person who can beat Jinwoo is Jinwoo himself. But on the bright side, that tells you the author actually cares about his characters, unlike a certain somebody. And the show is called Solo Leveling after all, which means we were already warned beforehand that every other character, no matter how well they're designed or how strong they seem, will just end up becoming fodder for Jinwoo's growth. All of this I can still get behind, because that's what was promised to us. But my main concern is what Saitama struggles with every single day. It's that the stronger Jinwoo gets, the stakes no longer exist. I mean, he goes from struggling against wolf pups to slaying behemoths like child's play. Not a single character can hold a candle to him, and the power scaling is as bizarre as it gets. Maybe if he had a few other characters who could rival him, it would have made for some interesting dynamics. But no. Instead, we get side characters who are relevant one episode, only to be sidelined the second they start becoming memorable. And since they serve almost no real purpose, their scenes end up feeling completely skippable. Maybe that's why I can't recall their names. In short, Solo Leveling is a series that is lacking in many ways, but somehow still makes up for it with ice-cold execution that sends chills down your spine every time you hear the word "Arise." The show proves that sometimes simplicity paired with perfect execution and stunning visuals is all a series needs to succeed. It's like a dessert in the world of anime, constantly feeding you dopamine while keeping your attention locked in, no matter what your tastes are. And that's about it. Thank you for sticking around, and if you disagree with me, then name me at least 3 Solo Leveling characters, besides Jinwoo and his shadows of course. Alright, bye bye.